Good afternoon from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 12:48 p.m. on the 30th of September 2023. I'm receiving sweet little cuddles from my little bird Charlie. It's a glorious day. We're sitting in the shade because it's very, very hot, as you can see. Very hot today in Brisbane, Australia. Just a little, hopefully a short video. I went dancing last night. Well, I had a lovely time. I did have a lovely time, but I left it. I left a bit later than I normally like to leave, and about 10:30 I left, and hoping to be at the Brooklyn Standard by 11 p.m. in time for when Ramjet was starting. But I got stuck at Coorparoo train station with the boom gates down and the lights red. I sat there for half an hour. The train came and went and the gates still didn't go up, so there was a fault at the lights there, and a few cars ahead of me actually, turned around and backed out, but I was stuck in the, in the queue, in the traffic queue, couldn't move. And then an ambulance came along and they were stuck too. They must have got radioed in that it was broken down, because two paramedics actually jumped out of the ambulance and took their gear and ran across to the station. So whoever was in need of medical attention must have been at the actual station. But the ambulance couldn't get through either. So then I realised, I thought, I'm sitting here, I'm so patient, and I'm such a legal citizen on the road. This is kind of fucked, So I waited till there was a bit of a gap, and I was able to, without getting in front of the ambulance and the car in front of me, I was able to get out and do a U-turn and get out of there, because I'd waited long enough. So I didn't actually get into the Brooklyn Standard by the time I parked in the Uptown Centre. It used to be called Myer Centre car park. It's just such a stupid name for it, but anyway. Welcome to Brisbane, where they're so parochial they try and make themselves cool by calling themselves Uptown. Well, I'm an Uptown girl from way back, darling, The idiots at the Treasury Casino tell me that I'm not 5-star enough for their venue. After 13 years of being a loyal customer and amping up the crowd and dancing in my infamous little spot, they decided to turn savage, right? But I'm still an Uptown girl. You have to laugh. So anyway, I parked there. I'm thinking I'm going to have to find another place where I can potentially get free parking, because it's getting expensive spending $11 just for parking every weekend, So anyway, I parked there, walked up. By the time I got to the club, it was about 11:45. It was nearly midnight, which is it's unusual for me to be that late presenting myself at a place, but I thought, oh well, it is what it is. It's not my fault waiting for, ages in the must have been more than half an hour in the blinking Coorparoo lights. So thanks Queensland Transport for not fixing your equipment, wasting my night. Not just my night, but everyone's night. It's just rude. But anyway, I guess these things happen with electronic things. They go awry. Wait till the solar flare hits, if it does, and the whole of society loses its electronics. We'll be royally fucked. So anyway, got a little taste of that last night. Little reminder of how reliant we are on our little, red lights and boom gates and systems to operate effectively. So anyway, I arrived at the club and I'm queuing up And, you know, I'm right about the young people being insidious and basically targeting me, because yet again, waiting in the queue, I had a couple of young women behind me that kept jostling me and backing into me and pushing their elbows into me. This happened a few times. I just ignored it. And then finally, after the third or fourth time, I turned around and said, "Can you just stop touching me?" And the young girl just looked at me in amazement. Didn't expect me to turn around and say anything. Thought they could bully me. Oh, they're just vile. They really are vile. So anyway, just held her gaze, just very calmly held her gaze. And the boyfriend said, "Oh, you know, we're so embarrassed." I thought, good, you deserve to be embarrassed, bloody creeps. Anyway, they didn't bother me after that. I got into the club okay. And walking down the stairs, I think he's the manager that stands at the base of the stairs, who was sort of blocking my entrance coming down the stairs, but that's okay. He's watching the floor, you know, he's doing his job. And then there was a man, I think, you know, a staff member coming up the stairs, so I couldn't manoeuvre between them. It's too narrow a gap. So I just sort of waited for the young man going upstairs to pass me, and then I swung my hips to the left to manoeuvre around him, and swung my hips to the right to manoeuvre around the man who I think is the manager. And, you know, walked very elegantly as I could, trotting down those stairs on my 3-inch mules. And so I went to the bar and ordered my drink, and you know, took my drink and went to in front of the band, and a young woman looked at me that was sitting there and nodded and came up and gave me a bit of a cuddle, put her arm around my waist and smiled at me, and didn't say anything but non-verbally made me welcome. And it turns out she was friends of the bass guitarist of Ramjet. Don't know his name. I think I did at one stage, but I've forgotten his name. And anyway, so I thought that was very kind of that woman to make me feel welcome as I arrived in the club. And so I had a really lovely time dancing. There was a man who was a little bit younger than me, I think, probably in his early 50s. He was very charming, kept pulling me, you know, holding his arm out and pulling me in, and rubbed my back a bit, which was a little bit too much intimacy, but, you know, affectionate, like just sort of rubbing my shoulders, nothing too creepy. And then he lured me into the thick of the crowd. But then he just left me there. I thought, what's that about? I was happy dancing where I was dancing, just a little bit on the side. Don't know what that was about. Anyway, so he wandered off with his friend, and I didn't worry about it. I wasn't like trying to seduce him or anything. I'm just doing my thing. And I kept dancing, and then a bit later I went to get another drink, and he was sitting with his friend next to the bar. So he reaches out to grab me, and I just smiled and nodded. I wasn't going to go and interact with him, because he'd left me hanging on the dance floor after being so welcoming and friendly. I thought that was a bit rude, a bit psychotic, you know. Bear in mind that it's late in the night, most people were drunk, so don't take it personally, I really don't. So I just nodded and smiled, and the young bartender recognised me. He mouthed Jack Daniels and Coke, and I went, oh no, he mouthed Jack Daniels, and I mouthed back, and Coke. And he laughed, and I gave him $12 in shrapnel, because the first time I gave him a 20, the other person that served me gave them a 20, and they gave me my change, but I went through my bag, got out all my coins. So I give him the coins. He goes, "What's all this shrapnel?" And I'm just laughing. I went, "Cash." And but because he complained about the shrapnel, and I thought, yeah, it is a pain having to count all the coins, you know. So I said, "Keep the change, 85-cent tip." Like, I wouldn't get too excited, but I never tip. Very, very, very rarely do I tip anyone. But I thought, oh well, you know, I'm offloading all my coins, I'll be nice about it. So anyway, so he gets my drink and he slides it down the bar like, movie star style. I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was actually quite sweet. Nice young man. I like that bartender. All the bar staff are very nice. But they're getting to know me now. They know what I drink now. So that was very nice. And then towards the end of the night, because the band finishes at 2, they played TNT by AC/DC. And I had this very nice young man dancing in front of me. So he hands up to TNT with me. And he's like, and I win the fight. And I'm punching my fist in the air. And I win the fight. And he was loving it. But he actually was a bit frightened. Because I'm in my full, warrior goddess, hamming up to the music persona. And so he turns to me. He says to me, I said to him, oh, you're so much younger than me. Would have been about 20, 25 max. And but he was a nice young man. And he says, I'm so easily defeated. And I said, you must never, ever be easily defeated by anyone. But anyway, he loved it. We had a lovely time. When we finished dancing, he said, that was intense. And I said, oh, really? I said, I thought it was quite lovely. I said, thank you for dancing with me, But the young don't have the wild, triumphant, joyful spirit that we older ones seem to have. It was a little bit confronting that he was genuinely a little bit unhinged by my my ham acting, which is all it really is, So anyway, it was hilarious, and but nice. I appreciated that he danced with me, and we had a lovely time. And even the security guards were looking at me and laughing because they know it's all just an act, Well, I hope they know it's all an act. They knew it was an act at the casino, but they got rid of me in favour of the young and the precious and the elitist and the pretentious and the privileged, spoilt, young and beautiful ones, because they're trying to get rid of the older people from going out dancing, hem us into our little homes like little drones waiting to be picked off at any given moment by some malevolent monster, hoping we all get dementia and die. Not this little black duck. I'm holding on to my ground on sacred earth, on sacred space, and I'm holding my ground by going dancing and being wild and carefree for as long as my old hobbit body and my legs and my feet will carry me, and as a defiance and as my human right to enjoy my life, as I have always done. I'm entitled. I am entitled to have that much out of life. So, and it was a beautiful, beautiful full moon last night. I took a photo of it before I went out. And then I came home, took a photo of me actually with it behind me in the western horizon. It was just beautiful. So it was a night for magic and love. And I did meet 2 men. One was a game player, playboy teaser, and one was a young man who just came and was sweet and danced with me, which was lovely. So I'm meeting nice men, even though nothing's developing yet. Yet. You never know your luck in the big city. I might meet someone decent one day who's genuine. But then, I haven't in, 13 years now, so there is that. But you have to laugh how I intrepidly go out and dance my dance and perchance my chance and just enjoy my life. There's great power in that, people. Just enjoying your life, no matter what, and taking life by your own reins, or as I like to say, by the balls, and just supercharging your energy meridians and pushing yourself out there, even if you don't feel particularly well. I did hesitate to go out last night because I was feeling very unwell and tired, most of the day. So I actually lay down in my bed around about 7 p.m. and I thought, oh well, if I fall asleep, I'll stay home, obviously. But I lay down in my bed and I didn't fall asleep, and got to about 9 o'clock and I thought, oh well, I'm going out for sure, because sometimes my mood can shift and I don't feel like going, but that's rare. I usually do push myself out, just as a matter of principle. And so I did. I went and had a shower and washed my hair and put on full makeup and, had my nice dress on and teamed it up with nice shoes, and I looked lovely last night, if I say so myself. And I'm glad I, gathered up my reins and rode my chariot and my Ainscough through the streets of Brisbane, even though I was blockaded by the Coorparoo boom gates at the railway station, which was just insanity, but not everyone was in the same boat. And didn't let that put me off, didn't think, oh, I'm never going to get there, it's a waste of time, give up and go home. No, I carried on, I went out, and I had a lovely time. I did observe, though, that the streets of Brisbane were very quiet. I mean, by the time I got there, what time did I get to the city? Must have been about 11:30, something like that. So, I feel like I lost time. Because, I was sitting there from 10:30, I was at the lights. Anyway, it took forever. So, anyway, but by the time I got to the city, it was around about 11-ish, 11:30, and I was looking around. There were a few people around there, the Uptown Centre, but then walking down Elizabeth Street, it was very, very quiet on the streets. It was a bit fucking eerie, and it was just as quiet walking back at 2 a.m, so 2:11 a.m. So I did stop at Hungry Jack's and got some little popcorn thingies and some, I felt like some onion rings, because I hadn't had dinner last night either, which was unusual. And so I'll have something to eat before I drive home, just felt like something to nibble on. So I sat opposite Hungry Jack's there in the mall, and that was a bit scary because some young Aboriginal kids were hounding men. I don't know what they were actually doing, but I don't know if they were begging money or picking fights. It looked like they were picking a fight with a couple of men, and that one of the men was so drunk he didn't know what he was doing. He ended up giving them money, I think just for the sake of peace, which I thought was a bit not nice how they were behaving, those kids, but not my monkey, not my circus. I stayed out of it. I was sitting far enough away that I didn't need to worry about being threatened by them. And then they hounded another man, and then two drunk men approached me and stood near the bin, and I was just eating, ignoring them, so they're quite close to me. And they said, what have we got here? So I just completely fucking ignored them. But who the hell do you think you are, you fucking animals? So anyway, casually chewing my food, looking in the opposite direction. And then they walked past me and looked at me and went, oh, sorry. And I just nodded. I thought, yeah, you should be sorry. Don't approach a woman sitting alone in the mall in the semi-darkness and say, what have we got here? The cheek of it. Absolutely cheeky. I recognised one of them. They were ambling their way back to the casino. I've seen him before at the casino. So I thought, oh, just creepy, just utterly creepy. But anyway, nothing untoward happened, and I got back in my car and drove home feeling quite drained by then. But I had a lovely night. So, and I'm glad I went out. even though it's a bit confronting how the young, when you're queuing up, the young people want to poke you in the back. Or last week it was a younger woman in the club kept stomping on my foot, right? 3 times she stomped on me before I cracked it. But I was worried about them stomping on my feet last night because I had my lovely shoes on. And anyway, thankfully that didn't happen. I was going to wear my beautiful sandals that have got little bobbles and little charms, and they're just gorgeous. That they tie up in front like Roman sandals. But I thought, if some asshole stomps on my feet and knows, they'll break the shoes. Plus, there's no protection on my foot. It'll really freaking hurt, you know. So you literally have to go out armoured up, wearing your studded boots practically for protection, you know, now. If it's getting a bit freaking scary, you've got to dress not so much to impress, but to protect your feet and present this persona of don't fuck with me kind of thing, you know. It's just outrageous. It's outrageous what society has come to. But yeah, I miss the days when I could wear elegant shoes, high-heeled shoes that were pretty, and not have to worry about, you know, animals stomping on you. But it is what it is, and I need to adapt to survive. I need to adapt. So this little one is super loving today. Say hello to the people, Charlie. Say hello to the people. Hello. Hello. Who's there? Is that the people on YouTube? Is that the people on the World Wide Web, on the internet? Can they see you, Charlie? You can't see them, but they're out there watching your videos. Saying, who's that cute birdie? Who's that cute birdie? She's a cutie. Is the mama a cutie too? The mama's a cutie. Oh, the young man I was dancing to TNT with said to me, who are you? And I said, Killer Queen. I was joking, but he went, he took it quite seriously. And I said, I'm just having some fun before I die. And I was actually meaning that quite literally, actually. I've been saying it for years now, but it's getting more and more imminent that I'm literally thinking, how many times can I do this before I actually finally die, right? And I'll be doing it for some time because I'm intrepid. But it was just so cute. And I went, I'm just having some fun before I die. He went, who, me? I went, no, me. I'm a lot older than you, mate. Like, obviously I don't mean you. But anyway, I said, that's my motto, have fun before you die. And they don't get my humour. I guess after the COVID pot, when everyone's terrified of dying, they take it all a little bit too literally, you know. But I mean, for goodness sake, I've made it this long in this society. After so many attacks on my life, I can make it a bit longer, Miss Charlie. What does Miss Charlie say? Say hello to the people, Charlie. Say hello, I love you. Can you give kisses? Where's the kisses for the people, Charlie? Come on, you can do it. I love it when you do that. Charlie! What's up? What's up, Charlie? And I step outside and I take a deep breath and I say, what's going on? And I say, hey, yay, yay, yay. Hey, yay, yay. And I say, what's going on? She says, Mama, don't quit your day job. Okay, Charlie, I won't. We had a visit from Mr. Crow. I don't know what's going on with those birds. I've filled up the water with the square little square tub for them to all bathe in, and for some obscure reason they're still bathing in her bath, which is a big stainless steel bowl, right? Mr. Crow's too big to fit in that bowl, but he made himself fit and he bathed in it, and I was like, why don't you use the other thing that's got room for the bigger birds? That's why I have it there. It's bizarre that they're not using it anymore. It's because I left it empty for months, and now they've sort of got out of the habit of using it. I guess they'll get with the program eventually, now that they'll eventually realise that it's got water in it again. But yeah, he's a lovely birdie, isn't he, Charlie? Bathing in your bathtub, your little bowl. It was so funny watching him try and fit himself in there. The big birdie in your bowl. I know. Where do you think you're going, Charlie? Where do you think you're going? Anyway, it's a long weekend today. Oh, the other shock I got when I was driving into the city. They've put petrol up to $2.35. Who the hell can afford to go anywhere at those prices? We're being squeezed out of even enjoying our weekends with our families. I mean, not the rich. The rich can do anything they want. But, ordinary people like me, it's outrageous what's going on. No, let's call it what it really is. It's evil. It's evil what's going on to do that to ordinary people, knowing a holiday's coming up. King's birthday. The only one that can afford to enjoy the birthday weekend is those who've got a king's income coming in. It's disgraceful. Profound evil. So I was seething about that as I was driving. And I mean, I had enough petrol to get in and get home. But it's not the point, is it? It's really not the point. If I'd wanted to go for a day trip to Bribie Island or go to Byron for the day, they've made it unaffordable to even go, for a 2-hour trip. Well, it's really a 4-hour trip there and back to Byron anyway. But it's just so vicious to do that to people. I haven't been to Byron Bay in a long time because I haven't been able to afford the petrol, and for a long time I haven't been well enough to make long trips like that on my own. But yes, I need to get back to Byron soon. It came up in my memories this morning or last night of Beauregard playing on the beach at Belongil Beach, digging holes. And it was such a beautiful memory of him, and I was just almost wanting to cry. He had that lovely day on the beach that day. That was in 2019. So yes, it's that long. I've probably been there since then, but it's that long ago that Beauregard had that lovely day on the beach. And I was wanting to take him to the beach as he was getting sick and declining, but I didn't want to make the long trip and have him so unwell, and I regret it now. Should have just taken him anywhere close by even, just to see the sea for one more time. He did love the beach. So yes, there is that. Anyway, that's my video for today. I can't think of what else I need to tell you, so I'll sign off now from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. Love from the multiverses. Happy Sukkot to my Jew crew, my friends and family who are Jewish, and happy every day of your life to the rest of us heathens. You have to laugh. And God's bless. Goodbye from Sacred Space. Say goodbye, Charlie. Charlie, say goodbye to the people. She's like, no, I'm plucking feathers. I'm very busy plucking out all my feathers so I can be a semi-naked bird. A semi-naked birdie. Are you a semi-naked birdie? Yes, all right. All right, little heathen blue avian bird. I love you. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye to the people. Bye from us.